Hi everyone, this is Portofbones with a YouTube video. I was eating Triscuit and cheese, and that's what's going on right now. Okay, I've been crying. I've been crying, and I think a question that I really wanted to answer and talk about was what's been going on in the past year. Okay? And it's difficult for me to speak about myself openly, be vulnerable, if you will. It's difficult for me. I feel like I have to just accomplish tasks as my personality type or trauma, whatever. And it's hard for me to sit in my feelings and feel them, process them, let them go, move forward. That whole thing is something that I struggle with. I struggle with congratulating myself when I accomplish big tasks, big goals, which I do. I do accomplish these big tasks, big goals, big dreams. And it is difficult for me to let myself be happy for myself. So this past year, I am getting a divorce. I'm separated and I am getting a divorce. I just want to say that out loud. And yeah, this past year's been a lot. My past 7 years truly have been a lot. I've been moving a lot, as some of you've noticed. And I'm not a huge fan of moving a lot. I used to really like moving. I thought it was super exciting and this exciting fun thing to do. And as I've gotten older and have had kids, I have 2 girls, I really just have had this deep craving for a home base. So, we all moved here to North Carolina, and I kind of just figured I need to begin my life. I need to start unpacking all of these feelings deep within me, and I need to start moving forward. Because I have felt stuck. I have felt stunted, I suppose. I don't know the word. And I've really just been wanting to move into this next phase of my life. And with that beginning of that journey, I started doing yoga, which sounds kind of dumb. Well, it's not dumb, but it just sounds kind of simple. Like I just started doing yoga. But the reality of it is that I had 2 kids back to back, and so I went from gaining 50 pounds to losing 50 pounds to gaining 50 pounds to losing 50 pounds over the span of 4 years. And I didn't really take care of myself, I guess. I didn't really see, I kind of stopped acknowledging myself as a person, and I just feel like I became someone who just does things and accomplishes tasks and kind of just puts oil in this machine and makes this machine keep going. That's what I felt like I became. So I started doing yoga, right? And I really started to have these feelings come up inside me because of it, because I think I watched videos on like somatic healing of like when you start getting in touch with your body movement again and it releases repressed feelings and trauma. So I feel like that's what was happening to me with yoga as this initiator. So I started doing that, and then I think in February I began doing pottery. And pottery is always something that I've seen people do and was interested in. However, I never really allowed myself to engage and learn, right? I just never gave myself the time of day. So I signed up for a class. I started doing it. And then I started getting really good at it. And the thing with pottery is you have to sit there and you have to really, really concentrate. And it's almost trance like. You concentrate so hard on this one task, and your brain almost gets like a reset or like a break. I don't know. But I started doing that and it just started to become very therapeutic for me. And also, I am progressing so quickly and doing so well, and I'm enjoying it so much. And the trance like state and the therapeutic nature of it for me was also this sort of healing that was helping me work through and honestly bringing up these memories, emotions, thoughts that I've just been suppressing. So, those two things really kicked off this sort of reset. I keep saying in my head that I'm like burning my life down, and I don't really like that. I don't think I'm burning anything down, but I do feel this really dramatic shift that I'm taking. These huge steps and changes that I'm having and working towards and deciding. And it makes me feel like I'm just lighting my life on fire. But I am choosing it, and I know why I'm choosing it. It's intentional. And I know that on the other side, I will be happier or more at peace for it. However, this current transition period that I'm in is a lot of growing pains, and it is painful. I feel a lot of feelings of deep shame and guilt for some of my choices, but I do think that I've done my best, and these choices that I'm now making are for my best interest. So, I do feel at peace with that, regardless of the in and out, the in and out of these negative emotions that I'm feeling about myself that keep coming up for me. So, I don't know. So, yoga, pottery, and then I began therapy, which was incredibly validating because it's like a neutral third party that you're expressing all these thoughts, feelings, emotions about, and they're able to. She was just able to really validate me in my life path, my life choices, which feels good because unfortunately, I feel like in my head sometimes I think, am I allowed to do this? Should I be doing this? I feel like maybe I need permission from people or permission from a outside source instead of internal. And I don't like to be that way, but I'm aware that that is how I operate sometimes. So with the therapy, it was helpful moving forward. And with that, I began a search for a house, which is the house I'm currently in. I this is what I did. Well, what I first started doing is I got it in my head that I needed to raise all this money to buy a house cash, right? Because I cannot get a conventional loan, an FHA loan. I just don't qualify for a loan as it stands. So I got it in my head that, okay, if I raise all this money, I'll be able to just buy a house cash and that'll be that, right? Well, I started posting on TikTok because I was embarrassed and ashamed to post on my Instagram and ask for help. So I was like, okay, TikTok's a little bit more low key for me. I'll post there and I will do this thing and I will get myself a house. And it didn't work, but it did help me raise some money, which helped with the down payment. And the next step I took was I went to Zillow and I looked at the counties, well, where my kid's father is. I looked at the surrounding counties and I went through and looked at all of the houses under 300,000 and I found the email of the realtor and I emailed each realtor and I said, "Hey, I'm wondering if your client is interested in owner financing. I have a down payment blah blah blah. Like I sent them like a little spiel about me, and I would just say, are you interested? Thank you. And I sent so many emails. I sent so many emails. And I would say like 96%, 98% were just like, no, my client's not interested. Or people would say, just not respond at all. That was the other thing, is I would just get a lot of non-responses. So I was like, I had my notebook and I was keeping track of the address of who I emailed, if they responded, what they responded, and kind of like a checklist. I was just going down. And I was doing this for a while. And it's really painful to hear no. It's my cat. I got scared. I thought it was a person. And then I remembered that I live alone now. Oh my god. Hey buddy. Excuse me. Honey, I'm filming right now. Buddy. Little booty butt. Excuse me, sir. I love you so. I love you so. I'm so sorry. Oh, this hurts me more than it hurts you. Okay, so yeah, it's really painful to hear no. Very disheartening. I felt really stupid. I felt embarrassed. A lot of negative feelings. Oh my gosh, what in the ASMR? Honey, okay, I love you so much. Okay. Well, I felt all these emotions about myself, and eventually I messaged the realtor about one particular home, and she said, actually, I have a different home that I think would work out for you and for my clients. And so I met with her like the very next day, and she was super, super kind, super sweet, and helped me get this house. I don't know what possessed her to want to help me, but I am so grateful. I'm not gonna cry. I'm so grateful to have a home now. And yeah, so that's what's been going on. I now have a house, and I need to probably, well, most certainly I need to get a part-time job, or I need to figure out how to become a full-time ceramicist so I can pay for all the bills. So that's what's been happening to me. And yeah, I'm going to begin, I suppose, this next phase of my life that I didn't think, well, here I am, right? I'm going through this next phase of my life, and I guess I gotta redo my goal setting, because I'm in a place that I surprise. I'm here in this space that I'm in, whatever. And I gotta figure out a lot of things now on my own, which is fine because this is what I wanted. I chose it, and all right. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Okay.